I'm here in Northeast Ohio, and it is a gorgeous day. Not a good day to be down here in the basement, but that's where my space is. So, let me get that out of the way. If you hop on and you say hello, I'll say hello here. But if I don't see you, I'll respond later because it's just, I don't know, it's a Monday. It's always a Monday for me on when I'm trying to get it all going, but I think we're good. All right, it says we're live. So, and let me see. I'm going to move this out of the way. Put this down a bit. And we'll wait a few minutes till we get started. But we're going to make little tidbits of art and little inspirational cards, or whatever you want to call these. Altered trading cards. All these different names and phrases we can use for them. I just call them little tidbits of art. That's what I call them. So, yeah. All right. Let's see if I can get this. So, there we go. Let me make this bigger. Maybe not. So if you hop on, make a comment, and we'll get started. Let me turn down the volume on this so there's no feedback. And we're just going to get started. So, hello again. Happy Monday from Pam's Den Creative Fun. We're going to start making some little tidbits of art. And we're just going to use playing cards today. I was in a drawer, and a friend of mine had started making these, and I thought this would be a good to do for our Make It Monday. So we're just going to play and have fun. But how many of you have boxes of playing cards? And there's probably some that are missing a few. So those would be the really good ones to use. But we had a bunch. So I grabbed a deck of cards, and I grabbed them, and I thought that's what we will create with. So here's our cards, okay? So you're like, okay, so how do we do this? I'm going to show you. So we're going to take a card. And I just put this tape here so I kind of know where to position my cards. So hopefully you guys can see this and Pam doesn't, go out of camera. Yeah. So far, so good. All right. So I'm just going to take some white paint and I'm going to cover this up. You could use gesso. You could use other stuff, but I just have some white paint here. So I just put a little dab of paint and I am going to cover this up. Okay. And I have my table covered. And many times if it's white paint, it's going to take a couple coats, but we're going to put lots of different layers on this, so it might not really matter. And so for this, I'm now going to take my dryer and I'm going to dry this. And sorry if I bump the camera. I'm going to dry that. You can see I'm shaking the camera. See, it's just a creative process, and we're live, so these little bumps and stuff can happen. Okay, so that's pretty much done, and I'm going to just do the other side. And we're going to dry that. Here, I'm going to bring this around to the front. Maybe this will help. And don't forget, if you pop on, say hello. Or remember, these are available for the replay for a while. And then I usually move them over to YouTube. If I get my act together. All right. So that's what we did. So we painted both sides. And it's okay. We're going to let these dry. And I have some already started. And so we have this be this. And the other side is done. Okay. And then we painted the one side a color that we liked. And now I'm just going to do this other side to show you. Okay. You can do whatever color you want. I am just using acrylic paint that I have. And some of this really needs to be used up. Okay. I just put a little bit down. We don't want a lot. Or you can do it and then put another coat. If you feel you need it. Because remember, we're going to cover it up with stuff. So let's dry this. And you know what? If you're watching the replay and you have a question, put a question in the comments. Or comment. Any ideas, thoughts, questions, suggestions? Just let's have a conversation, even if it's after the live. Okay, now I have that one. Let's put these aside. So these were just with the white. And so those are all done. And maybe I'll have a few of my friends help me with those. So since I already had these, I'm going to put more of this paint on these so we have several ready for what we might want to do. All right. And you could do an assembly line process with many folks. Or if you wanted them to do all one side, and then somebody else could do the other side. Because we're speaking of caregivers, like just one, we want to keep their attention. So make it a process. We could even do this while watching football games or sitting around watching a TV show or just as the activity. And you know what? Of course, I have on my fingers paint. You could always wear gloves if you wanted. If somebody goes, oh, I don't want paint on my fingers. Okay, I'm going to dry these. Take a few minutes. I'm going to dry these and then we're going to go back and maybe put some more coats of white paint on so you can see how it covers it. But let's... Because sometimes the paint needs to sit for a bit to really cure and stay put. Okay. I'm going to put these off to the side. So now we have several ready to go. So let's go back to these. See, I think a few of these could use some extra paint. So let's just put the white paint back. I'm just going to make a blob. I can use it on all of them. And since it really doesn't matter what color, it might be a little bit yellowed because of the paint, but that's okay. But remember, some of our friends will get, if we say the rule is, or the instructions are to use the white paint, then we probably should stick with that. Okay. See how it's covering it with each coat? Let's put some more on this one, because we just don't know what we're going to cover it with. This way you're ready for whatever is chosen. Okay, I'm going to line these back up a bit. Let's dry these off. And yeah, we moved today to a different time because I had an appointment this morning. Usually we're on around the mornings. So it's another thing I'd love for you to answer in the comments. Do you like the morning or the afternoon? Okay. Let's turn these over. This one could use a little bit more white paint. Maybe not that much, but we can put some on all of them. And then they'll be ready to whatever you want to do next. We have several ready for us. So we're not going to put more of the other color on because we have several. Okay. I'm just going to dry these a little bit so I can move them over. Now, when we talk about modifying and adapting, somebody might have difficulty holding on to the paintbrush, but they could hold the dryer. And if you've watched my friend Joe, he loves the dryer. It's his favorite job, I think, or one of the favorite jobs. He just likes creating. But he knows exactly now how to use it. In the beginning, he needed guidance and cues. But now he knows exactly how to turn it on and off, and he can respond to the prompts. So we have found a good job for him. And what I was really impressed the other day is we had not worked together for a while, and he still remembered all the steps. So that made me happy. Okay, so I'm going to move that aside. We'll move these aside. We are not going to stack them up because they might stick. So I'm going to move these over here. Okay, so now we have some that have this color on both sides. So next, it's time to make them art pieces of art. And we can put a whole bunch out. All right, so this is where the choices come. What should we do? Do you want to see? I have this one started. So I put fun paper on top of this. So let's do that. Let me see, I have all these over here. I got lots and lots and lots. If you're thinking of a theme, and I did both sides, but maybe we'll just do one side today. And that's a fun color, and you could see through it. Okay, so I'm gonna use my Liquitex Matte Gel Medium today, because what I like about this is, I'm gonna put this into my water so the brush is good. It seals it really well for me, and I can put more stuff on and they don't stick together as when I use just Mod Podge, sometimes they stick together. So I am going to take a paintbrush and I'm going to put some of this on here. Let's do 3. Let's do 3. And we can make them each different. Okay, now we can put it down all at once, or we could rip it up and do it like a collage. And then I'm gonna put more over top. And this is another great part of the process for somebody. They finally get to rip. How many times do we say, don't rip that? This time they get to rip it. If it goes over the edge, that's okay because we can just trim it off. I'm going to put this one right up at the edge. I'm going to put this over here. Maybe I'll get a little more. Yep. I think it's kind of fun to layer them. I like rougher edges. Let's see. Ooh, there's even a little different color in there. That's kind of fun. It's kind of, you just never know what you get. Okay, let's set that one aside. Let's pick a different color. Okay, I'm going to put more on. Now, you probably would have just done it right after that. Now it's getting a little dry, so we will use this one. Let's just lay this one flat right on it and see how that works. And I'm just going to put some more of this over top. Okay. Now we have this one. Let's get a different color. I'll put a little more of this on here. Whoops, sorry. Ooh, let's put this one. I'm going to rip a bit. And it's okay if we get little wrinkles. It's okay. Okay, I'm going to put more here. Okay, let's put this on. All right, I'm going to move these off to the side. Remember, this back, and let's dry it. And you know, because I'm doing this on the live, sometimes I might do this and then I would wait and come back to it to make sure it's really good and dry. But we're going to do the best we can because we're filming it. Okay. Now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim around. Okay. You might have somebody that's really good with scissors. This would be their job. Or an adult or caregiver. Okay, now you might put a little more because this didn't adhere. It's okay. Let's put that one aside. Let's trim this one. And aren't they so cool already? I think so. They are all such unique little pieces of art. And I can't wait to see what you do with them. Okay, there's two. Let's trim up this one. And you know, even if you go outside a little, I mean, off the edge, it's okay. Because you could even just paint a little bit more over it or put a little bit more paper. It's really perfectly fine. See, and this one's a little nut, so we got to put a little bit more over here. Look at all these, they're so different. Let's see how we're gonna see what things we have to embellish it with. I was thinking of doing a little paper art over top, and then I was going to put a little inspirational message on them with little words I have. All right, let me move all this stuff out of the way. This is the one I started already that I have pieces for that I'll show you. Okay, I'm going to dry these really quick again. And I have this wait sign. I might show it backwards on the camera. But if you're doing something and you're working with somebody and you need to wait, which is, this is the sign for wait, but you want it to dry a little bit, we've taught them that if this is on there, it means we need to wait. Wait a minute, I'm going to get something. Wait a minute, I'm just not ready yet. Or just take a big deep breath. Pause for a minute. Okay, so, all right, so I'm going to move this over because we're going to keep working on them. All right, so I have this one that I did the other day, or yesterday. Put it over on my little piece to know where to put things. And I have these pieces, so I figured we would put those on there. So I'm going to put more of the gel medium or glue. Plus it helps seal it up a little bit more. And I had this square that I thought would be fun on there. And we had cut these out with our shape cutters. So I had them in my stash, which I have lots. We need to use up stuff. And then I have this that I thought we would put over here. Look, see how I'm not really even thinking a lot. I'm just putting it down. I'm just creating. And then I had this little piece on a magazine, and I thought, you know, it's starting to get fall. I just thought this looked pretty good. So I'm just gonna, maybe we should make that a little bit straighter. Maybe up on this one. Okay, and then let's finish it off with a word. Let's see, I have all these. You are enough. Courage, my friend. Be strong. Find your way. I think I like that one. Find your way. And you know, you could hold up two pieces, two word strips. And you could explain to them what it says. Say, find your way, be strong, and then see which they either reach out or touch. Or if they look away, it might be, can I have two more options? You could do that too. But let's look and see what cues they're giving us. I don't know which one I said. So let's see. I think I like courage, my friend. That might not have been the one I originally picked, but that's the one we're going with. Okay. So there's this little tidbit of art. Now you could do more embellishment on it, but I'm going to set this one aside, and maybe I'll do more later. But let's put that one over. Let's do another one. Let's do this one. Let's see what we got. You know, I just grabbed a bag of cutout pieces, and that's what I'm using today, because sometimes too many choices kind of is hard. So I'm just going to reach in here, and I'm going to see, ooh, that one looks kind of good. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Ooh, I like this one with the word, kind of the pages. Okay. Okay, we're gonna put that one down. Put this one down. Oh, not sticking. Should we put a, I don't know, look at this. You know, I kind of like this on here too. It's cut in half. Had some of the colors in there. Okay, should we see if we find a phrase? Let's see. Find your peeps. I like that one. Let's cut this off a bit. We're gonna just put that on there. Yep. Okay. Let's put this off to the side. Let's do two more. Okay. There's so many choices, my friends. So many choices. I'm gonna, let's see what others we have in here. I don't know. Kind of like that there. Where was that one? I just had one that I liked, but I lost it in the bag. That's okay, there'll be another one. There's plenty. I have enough. Maybe 2 of the round ones. Okay. Oh, let's... Yeah. I like that side. But there's no right or wrong, remember? Choices and whatever you'd like. I really like that one. Wonder how that got like that. Okay. Let's see what words. But you are enough. Let's see, I have some black ones over here. Courage, my friend. Courage. Okay, I'm going to dry these off. Move these aside. We'll clean these up later. You see, this is the part, like if you don't like this, this is when gloves help because it's a sensory thing. Okay, I'm gonna finish these up for now and then I'm gonna let them dry really good. And then I will pop on and show you what I'm gonna do. I might do some stamping or I might just outline it with my pens that don't bleed when we seal it, but I really want to let these dry since I used the matte gel medium. Kind of takes a little bit longer, and that's okay. Be enough for now, and we'll do more later. Might need some more glue on there. We'll see. We will see. All right, so let me put this one over here. Yeah, look at all 4 are totally different. This one says, courage, my friend. This one says, you are enough. This one also says, courage, my friend. I think I was drawn to that phrase. That's okay. And this one says, find your peeps. Because I think I have lots in these bags of the same words. See, now I've cut them all out, so there's a lot of phrases. And then these are the black ones. I'm going to put the other ones back in there. Maybe we'll make more later. If I do, I'll pop on and I'll show you. And then we'll clean up. Cleaning up is always good. I don't always do it. Sometimes my table is a disaster. Oh, these are words. What the? Get that bag out. Back in there. I got other papers. Here, should we put them back in this bag? Look at all these fun. Welcome, joy. Oh, so many choices. You could write them out. And so you could type them out and print them off. All these different ideas. But remember, we can modify and adapt the activity to allow many, many, many to participate and then to share. So I'm going to start thinking about how we can use these. And I will be sharing a paper. Like, how do you use these little cards? Comment below what you think. I would love, maybe I'll start my paper's falling. Start a little list. How would we use these? I'm going to check with my friend who started these and if she came up with any great ideas. Now see if we can start trimming off the edges. Yep. That one's all good. That one's good. And that one's good. All right. There we go. Okay. So that's our Make It Monday for today. You guys have a great rest of your Monday. I'm going to clean some brushes and clean up my space. And who knows what else is on my agenda for today. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day. See you later.